Welcome back. For the longest time, whenever I heard the word justice, the imagery that came to my mind was courtrooms. And to a certain extent, that still holds true. For some of you, the words that come to your mind may be fairness, rights, equality, non-discrimination, and so on. It is true that justice encompasses all of this. But justice is a whole lot more. And the reason why it is considered to be a virtue is because it pertains to each one of us. So then what is justice? Justice is the virtue on account of which we assume our responsibilities and give others their due. This includes both God and our fellow human beings. So let's try and understand this. Take the case of your relationship with your parents. Now, if your relationship with them has become merely functional, where you communicate with them to get just what you want, then it can be considered to be an unjust relationship because you are coming from a space of selfishness. If, on the other hand, you spend time with them, knowing and being grateful for the fact that they have brought you into this world, and acknowledging their part in shaping you as a person, then it can be said to be a relationship that is good and just and true. It is the same in the case of our relationship with God. We ought to spend time with Him, not just to get what we want, but when we acknowledge Him as our Creator, and when we are grateful to Him for all that we are and everything we have, then it can be said to be a good and just and true relationship. What about our fellow human beings? Justice is a concept that we understand from very early on. This is why ideas like fairness and equality are intrinsically understood by children. Notice when they play with their siblings or their friends, and they have a bit of a squabble because of toys or books, you'll hear them saying, "This is not fair, this is mine." This brings me to the point that justice has rights and corresponding obligations. This is to say that I have rights and my fellow human beings have rights, which I have an obligation to respect. Now, unlike popular understanding, these rights come from God Himself. And this is easy to understand. Take the case of natural rights, like the right to life. The fact that I can have a child and I should be permitted to have a child whenever I want to. Or the right to truth. These are understood by us, even if we do not know what is in the Constitution. That said, these rights are enshrined in our Constitution, and the legal system is supposed to safeguard these rights. All this said, legal justice is only a part of social justice. Social justice consists in the rights and responsibilities of the community towards its members and vice versa. So it is incumbent upon the community, individual, and the state to ensure that each person is given his or her due. This is why Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela, who fought against discrimination, foreign rule, and apartheid, are as relevant to the discussion on justice as is Mother Teresa, who ensured that the poor, the homeless, the destitute, and the orphans were given their due, as is the enactment of a stringent law against human trafficking. All these are part of justice. This is why justice is not the task of just the state or the government. It is also why justice cannot be relegated to the private sphere alone, as in to say that it is someone else's problem. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." So why is it that people then turn a blind eye when the rights of others are usurped and injustice is apparent? It can be said to be on account of two main reasons. The first is indifference or apathy. This is to simply say that one operates from a space of selfishness and a lack of solidarity with those who are suffering. And the second and more dangerous reason can be said to be moral relativism, a belief that there is no objective truth but only subjective reality. This is why you'll often hear people say, especially people who don't want to intervene, say things like, "I'm not sure if this is wrong. Besides, who am I to judge?" Magnanimous as this may sound, what they are in fact saying is that anything goes, that there is no certainty with regard to truth. But this is not the kind of laxity we see when it comes to scientific facts. For instance, the fact that India lies in the northern hemisphere, the fact that the skin is the largest organ in the body, or the fact that the earth is a sphere is no longer up for debate. So also in the case with moral truths. These truths can be discerned from a well-formed conscience and are precise and should be. So the fact that adultery is intrinsically wrong, or that murder and rape harm and infringe upon another's rights are no longer up for debate. So the next time you see a friend or a neighbor or a family member or one of your colleagues whose rights have been usurped and you're inclined to turn a blind eye, remember, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. This is why justice is considered to be one of the most noble virtues, because it is concerned more with others than with oneself. Finally, no discussion on justice is complete without a discussion on mercy. While justice itself is strict adherence regarding our obligation to others, mercy goes a step further and gives others what they don't deserve. So for instance, if someone has wounded us or hurt us or wronged us, mercy means to forgive. This is not to say that we don't take cognizance of the wrong or the evil action done against us, but that we still go ahead and offer forgiveness because we don't want the other to be defined by his or her mistakes. So I hope this talk helped you to understand what justice is, that there is a right ordering in our relationships. For instance, work cannot take precedence over our relationship with our parents or spouses or children. And our relationship with our family cannot take precedence over our relationship with God. So I hope you will take the time to examine your relationships, whether it be your relationship with God, your spouse, your parents, your children, friends, colleagues, neighbors, or whoever crosses your path. And ask yourself if you are giving them their due. And if they are giving you your due, then go a step further and offer forgiveness to all those who have wronged you or hurt you. So I hope you enjoyed this talk, and if you did, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and share this video. Thank you.